Hey, straight out of Weston Super Man's Double On Podcast. Don't worry, it's only me. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This is our Halloween special. We've got a real proper Halloween guest today. We've got Ellis Rogers.
Hello there, hi.
So, Ellis is from Weston After Dark.
Yes, I am, yeah.
Do you want to tell people what Weston After Dark's all about?
Yes, so Weston After Dark is a walk-in murder and ghost tour around Weston that we'll be doing this Halloween.
Awesome. I seen you on Facebook, like your advert, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Weston. So I looked, and then I see it's about like ghost stories, murder stories.
Yeah.
And I was like, ticks all the boxes for me. I'm
Yeah.
definitely up for that. So that's why I had to get you in for the Halloween special.
Course, yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me.
No.
I said I watched your podcast, all the ones that have come out, and I really, really enjoyed them, especially the last one with Deadly MC. I really enjoyed it. I thought especially the part when you were talking about never giving up and stuff like that, and the perseverance that you're both talking about. I thought that was really inspirational. I saw the podcast and I thought about this Weston After Dark stuff, and I watched that and I thought, yeah, I'm going to give it a go, because these two people they've pursued their dreams. I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go, and I feel really, really happy and confident about it.
So without giving too much away,
Yes.
can we talk about a few murder /
Yes, we
ghosts?
can. Yeah.
So is it Shrubbery?
Shrubbery Bridge, yeah.
Shrubbery Bridge. I'm absolutely obsessed with. I don't know why. It's just I literally I went to a house round there, and then I ended up driving down the road, and I was like, "Why is this little bridge?
Yeah.
This is a little secret gem in Weston." And I went there a few times, and then I was trying to do a drone shot going through it because I wanted to do a drone shot, then leading out.
Yeah.
And someone walking past told me about this ghost, and I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
So I didn't take much of it, and then when I got home, I was like, "Oh, Google it."
Yeah.
So I googled it, and apparently there's a ghost of a
It was
policeman.
a policeman, yeah. So yeah, that's it's a really, really cool story. It used to be Shrubbery Bridge. The bridge used to lead to a villa that used to actually be a zoo at one point. So they had all sorts of animals in there during the Victorian era. Yeah,
Wow.
a huge house with like a zoo inside it. And one time there was a police officer on duty, and he heard that there was a burglary up in Shrubbery Road, all those houses up there that had been there since the Victorian times. And he went up to investigate, and he found both the burglars on the bridge. And they wrestled, all three of them wrestled in each other, and eventually, obviously, the policeman succumbed to the force of him pulling over, and he fell onto the ground and died. And they say that he haunts that bridge ever since. But when I made Weston After Dark, I had heard the story of Shrubbery Bridge, and I think loads of people know that story.
Yeah.
And that's why I really want to do one where people didn't know the ghost stories, because I know that obviously everyone knows Shrubbery Bridge. So I've got a few that I think that no one really knows about.
Well, let's keep them on secret then.
Yes.
Because don't want to give too much away.
I don't.
Another one I learnt was about a witch called Patty.
Yes.
Who
Apparently
used to live in Weston Woods.
Yeah.
Did you know about this one? Was it? So there used to be a witch what lived in Weston Woods, like Q-Stock End, I think.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Around that area.
Yeah, I have heard about her as well. Yeah, so she was obviously a witch, and apparently she used to turn into a hare and a dog and all these sorts of things and scare people away from the woods. Apparently it was an old farmer's tale. The farmers wanted them to keep away from the land. But Patty the witch. But there's another story up in the woods. The woods is very, very haunted. And I think the reason why it's haunted, obviously has been some murders up there, loads of Victorian murders. But one of the most I think gruesome story of the woods is the Welbury Massacre. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Well, so basically, obviously, you know the Welbury Hill Fort?
Yeah.
So Welbury was a hill fort for hundreds of years, and one day that it was attacked. They don't know who the attackers were. It could have been, the tribe could have had a civil war, or it could have been the Romans, or it could have been a neighbouring tribe that's come from Wales. So what happened was basically that one day it was invaded, like I said, and it was a massive massacre. All the women and the children were all killed as well. Wow. And so much so that whoever killed these people actually chopped all the bodies up and scattered them across the hill. Yeah, so the woods is really haunted, and then that's why you get some houses around the woods is haunted as well, because the hill fort used to come down from the hill up to where all the houses are, so in the gardens, and in some houses, notably like I say bottom of the hills, there is like bones found from where they've been chopped up and buried. It's very, very gruesome.
That is really that's pretty horrendous, that, isn't it?
Do you want to hear an actual ghost story about it?
Yeah.
So basically, it was going to be on my tour, but it's not anymore because it's quite far away. But you know, Prince Consort Gardens. Yeah. So opposite there, you know those big, huge houses opposite Prince Consort Gardens. There used to be a college. I think it used to be called like Wyvern College or something like that, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And I heard this story, which I thought was really interesting, that at one point there was an apprentice working in the basement of this college. And he was in his basement doing his work. I don't know what it was, electrician or plumber or something, but he was in the basement doing his work. And all of a sudden, the room went cold, and the hairs back of his neck went up, and he had the feeling of being watched. So, feeling really unsettled, he looked around the room and he turned around. And as he turned around, he saw an old woman wearing a feathered cloak on her back and just staring at him. And he said that he dropped everything, ran straight out the cellar and out the house up to his van. Yeah. And as I said, with these ghost stories, that is a ghost story itself. But knowing what we know with the Welbury massacre, where the feathered cloak, that woman was probably the ghost of someone who was massacred.
One of the victims. Yeah.
So
just talking about it, it's just really creepy, isn't it?
But that was one of the stories. I thought that was really interesting. I thought I tried to back up the stories with some evidence, so it's not just lone ghost stories. Yeah, you've got. But that one was it's definitely spooky.
That is horrendous. Yeah. But one of my own ghost stories was I was at Uphill. Do you know the tower on the top of the hill? Yeah. Next to St Nicholas's Church. Me and my mate Alex was flying a drone up there. It was at night because we wanted to put a light on the drone and do this a long exposure shot so it looks like a ring above it. Yeah. So we did it, and then it was like, oh, there's a church nearby. Should we go and have a creepy look? Like, see if we see anything. And when we got round the corner, we seen... It was like a white mist. I know it sounds really stupid. The old white mist. But we seen this white mist, and there was no wind or anything like that. And it just went through, and it went like through the graveyard, because we was walking towards it, and you just seen it like really clear, and it just like walked in, and then like walked into the church. It just like
I know, I believe you. That's what story. That church has been there 2 years after Norman conquest. It's been there since 1068. So it's been there for ages. And when they were building the church, it's probably not true, but the old story goes that they actually built the church on the bottom of Uphill. So you know how on the hill, they built it on the bottom of Uphill. But they build the bricks, go to sleep, the villagers, and they wake up the next night to find the bricks up on the hill. So they brought the bricks down the hill and trying to build at the bottom again, and they go to bed and they realised it was going up again. Every night every morning it would go up. So eventually they gave up and just built the church on top of the hill. So that's the story that goes to that one.
That must have been a bit of a, because it's a trek going up there. If you just have a walk up there. If you imagine taking all that building stuff as well, it must have been a massive job to do. It's crazy, but
it could have been it's probably an old village tale, but it's still funny.
It's a funny it is funny.
But that church is actually, they say that it is haunted by a Viking, because during the Viking times, obviously Uphill and Uphill and Well, they were the only villages in Weston. Yeah. So West Town didn't actually exist, but Uphill has been a village for hundreds of years, and the Vikings actually came over and. Again, it wasn't a massacre, but they raided and looted Uphill. And they say that it's haunted by a Viking who is supposed to wail at night over the cliffs. Really? And I don't know, hopefully you can play this photo. I've got a photo of a ghost actually uphill that I've seen from about, I think it's about 15 years ago. So hopefully you can play.
Just let me stop you there.
Go
Let's
on.
insert the ghost
Yeah.
picture now.
It is proper. It is scary, and you can really. It wasn't white like you're describing, but it was a black shadow, and I think you can see a face as well. It's a really amazing photo. So I'm glad you brought it up. So hopefully, we'll put it on screen now.
I work around there. I don't want to.
Yeah, sorry. It wasn't white. It wasn't dark either. It was like greyish, but you could see it. It didn't have arms and legs. It was like an oval shaped thing, but you could see it just going like that. And I was like, what? Yeah. And I didn't have these on, by the way, before anyone. Oh, it's because you're in the dark with sunglasses on.
No,
I was. Yeah. So obviously, we're talking about ghosts for the Halloween special. Yep. What got you into the paranormal, the creepy murder stories, that kind of stuff? What got you interest going about that?
Well, I suppose I've always been interested in it a lot, especially more recently. What got me into the paranormal, especially, is a guy who does tours around Somerset, and he does it's called X Tours, and it's a guy named Bobby who runs it. He's such a friendly guy, really, really interested and really, really knowledgeable. And his ones, they're not necessarily ghost tours, but they're more like ghost hunts. Yeah. So he'll go around. I went on the Dunster one. That was really good. And he would go around and tell stories of these certain buildings, but you'd also have equipment as well. Yeah. And he got me into the really supernatural stuff. And I thought he was just really, really inspiring. Yeah. And then I thought, why isn't there something like that in Weston? I feel like I knew the stories about the bridge and other things like that. And I just thought, I feel like there's definitely more to Weston than what we all know. Yeah. And I found out there was. So, yeah. Especially how you get the Jack the Ripper tours in London or in York. You get the old ghost tours. And I thought there's definitely something in Weston. Yeah, I mean, all the buildings are old. Exactly. If you've got the age, there's bound to be those stories of murders and, like you say, hauntings and old buildings and, you can't go in there, it's haunted by this. But yeah, no, it's such a fascinating subject. I think everyone's always interested in a ghost story too, especially where they live as well. So yours is a ghost tour walk. Yeah. Whereabouts in Weston? Is it going to be like on the outskirts of Weston, or is it through town? So it's like Weston Central. So we all go through the end of the high street. So the bank end of the high street. Yeah. Towards all around like Grove Park and Grove Village to Nightstone Island, the Prom, and some other pubs along the way. But like I said, I always say you don't have to believe in ghosts, but everybody enjoys a good ghost story. Exactly, so it's entertaining. That's why people come along, because you don't need to believe in ghosts. You just got to enjoy it, which everyone does. Did you say a couple of pubs? So we have a couple of pubs on the way, which is interesting. So that's a good excuse to go in for a quick. Well, exactly, if anyone wants to. That's going for a beer and a haunting. Yeah. Well, I'm very nervous on this one. Do you keep the pub ones to last? No, well, yeah. So we got on it. Yeah. That's it. That's where you went, and let's get the spirits going. See what I did there, spirits. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But that's a good idea, actually. I might have to do it on my next one. Yeah. But so there's some haunted pubs then. Don't give them away, because I don't want to. No, I don't want to give them too much. I won't give them away. But it's some haunts and some pubs and other things as well. So we have, without giving too much away, there is a suicidal murder story. Really? So I can't give too much away, obviously, but someone had either committed suicide or was murdered on somewhere. And his very, very, very last sighting, an hour before he died, was in this pub, and there's a whole story to it. He was really frantic and it's all a bit weird. So that ties into the pub, as well as some hauntings as well. Nice. So so it's like I said, when I did the tour, is that I made sure that I really did historical research onto it. So all of the stories that I do tell, except from the ghost ones, obviously, because they're, whether you believe in them or not, all of the actual proper stories are all true, real, 100% factual stories. That's so interesting. I cannot wait to come on one of these walks. I'm so excited. Yeah. You're excited, aren't you, Lozzie, as well? Scared, excited, but I think it's going to be a real eye-opener. And
learn some history about Weston and some good stories.
When I did it, I used the British National Archive.
Oh, okay.
So you go onto there and you get newspapers since the 1700s about Weston, and that's when I found all the proper murders and suicides, everything. And Victorians were so good at it because they, after when a murder was done, they'd obviously hold a court trial, and the newspapers would have exactly the court trial, like all the witnesses and the evidence, everything. So that's why it's all just so detailed.
Yeah.
As I did that, and then I spoke to local businesses about their history and their ghosts, which I have, and as well a historian, Brian Austin. I don't know, have you heard of him before?
No.
He's amazing, man. I never met him, fortunately. He actually died last year, unfortunately. But he was like an encyclopedia of Weston. He knew everything. Yeah. So in the library, anyone can go there and have a look at it. In the library, he has his books with newspaper cuttings, all about little bits of Weston.
Oh, right.
And I got loads of knowledge off him. He's a really interesting guy. So yeah, that's how I got it all. So it's all true.
So it's that's brilliant. I like I said. So if someone was interested in coming on one of your walks, how would they book it?
Yeah, so at the moment we have a Facebook, so someone to Facebook message me, and then we do the paying by there. I don't have any website or anything like that, but I think about setting up an Instagram as well.
Oh, okay.
The next month.
So what we'll do, we'll put links for your Facebook page in the description to this. Go check it out because I'm sure if you're into a good story and also getting out. Because obviously you're going to be out walking around. If you want to get out and have some fresh air, winter's coming, it's a bit dark and dingy, but going out with a group of people having a laugh sounds...
I see, even if you're not a tourist, you live in Weston, I guarantee you that you will leave the night knowing something that you didn't know before.
Yeah.
Because I really researched hard to find it, and I didn't know anything that I found out. I said we all know about the bridge or about Duke of Oxford pub. You heard about that?
No.
About Alistair Crowley? Oh, well,
no.
That's highly documented.
Tell me when the cameras are off.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now if you like. But
go on then.
Yes, well, you have to, but it's to what it is. Do you know Duke of Oxford pub?
Yeah.
So that was that's obviously a pub, but during the Victorian era, they had it's called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and they used to operate down there in the basement, and they used to hold seances and stuff like that. So, and I thought that I think the North Somerset archive people have posted about that, so I think people do know about that.
Yeah.
But I thought I wanted stories that people didn't know. So, but South Road.
Yeah.
Interesting enough. Well, there's a house there called Temple Hill. So you can have a look at it on Google Maps. It's called Temple Hill. Yeah, so I think this is why it's interesting, the Duke of Oxford. And the people who used to live in there were members of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So it's who used to operate in the Duke of Oxford. Yeah. So they're basically a cult, basically, who did spiritual stuff and things like this. And if you search up Temple Hill or go there on South Road, it's this absolutely humongous house on the hill. But it's so at one point it was like a temple, so equivalent to a church or synagogue.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that house is so interesting compared to the pub, because the pub, they were there sometimes, but this whole building was dedicated to people sitting down, looking into mirrors and talking to people on the other side, and candles and all sort of stuff. Yeah. And they and it's really interesting about that place and that group is that they were all of the rich Westonians were all a part of it. Right. So all basically the elite. Yeah. So, for example, the Mercury's first owner, he was a part of the Hermetic Order, the Golden Dawn, and all of the wealthy businessmen and councillors and masons, they were all a part of this secret society that they all needed. When you joined it, you had to have your own cloak, and you get different cloaks and stuff like that, depending on what rank you were. Yeah. Excuse me. And you had to have your own wands as well, your actual own wands, own tarot cards, all this sort of stuff. It's such a Alistair Crowley. It's all inspired by Egyptian theology and stuff like that. But that's in Weston. I mean, it's crazy stuff. Yeah. And that's not on our tours, but I thought people knew about the Duke of Oxford and the bridge, but I think the stories that I found is people don't know about them.
No. Yeah. Did you know anything about that?
No.
Yeah, give it a Hermetic Order, the Golden Dawn. Give it a search. It was called Osiris Temple Number 4. It's called Temple Hill.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
It was just in Weston.
Yeah.
It wasn't
it was, sorry.
So it's right.
But Weston had its own branch.
Yeah, which I think is
wow.
amazing. So it was like a countrywide thing.
Yeah.
Like, so I think there's one in Birmingham, one in London.
Oh, right.
I think it's about 6 of them, and one was in Weston. I mean, how crazy is that?
Under a pub.
Yeah, under a pub,
these,
and this
then
actual
this-
temple
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
I want to go check
Actu-
that house out now.
So now it's a house, but if you look at the building, it's the coincidentally, it's the highest building on the hill,
Right.
and it looks like a temple. It's so peculiar. Like its whole purpose was a temple, like equivalent to a church or a synagogue or a mosque. It is crazy, and no one knows it's there.
No.
So
Wow.
I hope that people live there now.
well, yeah, they probably do. It's called.
They
Temple,
might not
Temple
want to
Hill.
know because there might be some like creepy goings on and
Yeah.
stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised because they used to like conjure loads of stuff. They talk to mirrors and candles and stuff on the floor.
Yeah, and stars.
Well,
and,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all part of that. So it ties
Oh.
in with tonight. I think it's all very Halloweeny.
So we're just going to give a big shout out. Pretty in Petals. They make things out of resin. So if you've got some precious flowers, this is
That's
wedding
really nice.
flowers. But I'm trying to. I don't know if I can because of light. But if you shine a light from the back of it, it looks amazing. But these are fantastic. And I've got an idea with. I like pulling things to bits, especially like electronic bits. And I've got loads of electronic bits, and I'm thinking about putting into some resin. But
Like one of your broken drones.
yeah, because not what I normally do is just stick them on a piece of wood and then But have a look at
Yeah,
that.
that's
see
really
what-
really nice.
Someone's done flowers, but you can literally put anything in, and because it's see through, I'd like to put some like backlights in it.
That's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pretty in Petals, for sending those in and giving us a look. Also, they have made us some key rings.
Oh wow.
Trick or treat. Ellis, you've got a treat. We've got you a straight out of Weston
Oh wow.
key ring
Oh nice.
made by Pretty in Petals.
Wow. Thank you very much.
And
That's
also,
great.
you've got to have a pair of these.
Oh,
You've got to be
nice,
a member of the
definitely.
White Shades crew.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, don't wear them on your walks because you won't be able to see where you're
No. Yeah.
Nice. That's really really clean.
But
Thank you.
listening to you about your goal, it's fantastic. Do you know? I think it's going to be a fantastic thing for Weston.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
super excited because I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a real success for
Thank you. That's what I say. We say it's a ghost and murder walk. So
Yeah.
we cover all sorts of ghost stories and obviously murder stories.
Yes.
Got a couple murder stories, like wife murders, sister murders, and obviously some suicides as well, and some tragedies. Got some really bad, sad tragedies of people dying in awful ways, but accompanied by ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is creepy, but then you do get the sad part of it as
Yeah,
well, because it's people's lives.
People's lives, yeah.
You'd be surprised. This Victorian era just had so many deaths and murders and stuff. It's crazy. Once you discover it, it is
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you can just keep going and going
Yeah.
and going.
And it makes it just weirder when the murders or the whatever happens, the tragedies and stuff. There's ghost stories to accompany it. It's just always weird.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. You've been a fantastic guest.
Thank you for inviting me on.
Are you hungry?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Right. Thank you to Food Souk for supplying us with. Can you pass us? They have supplied us with some food. We've got some pizza.
Oh, lovely.
And if you like baklava, these guys do the best homemade baklava I've tasted. Baklava. I call it baklava. But there's some pieces in here. They're really weighty, and I cannot wait to eat. Hopefully these guys don't want any. You don't, yeah.
You're watching a scary film.
Yeah.
That would be
That's the
a
way.
great end to this evening. End with yeah. But thank you very much, Food Souk, for this. Really appreciate it. And we've been straight out of Weston, Weston-super-Mare's #1 podcast.
Definitely.
Thank you very much for tuning into the Halloween special. We've had such a good time. We've learnt some real interesting, creepy stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bye from me. Bye from
Bye.
Ellis.
Thank you very much.
Bye from Juicer Lozzie.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
Thanks
for tuning in.